making a lexicon, you go through the English dictionary word for word, throwing random sounds together to make new words that are a one-to-one translation to the English words. And when you're done going through the dictionary, you have a foolproof lexicon. Nope, that does not give you a foolproof lexicon. First thing, words don't come from nowhere. Second thing, different languages have different amounts of words for things. For an example, lots of languages don't have a word for bee. And the sheer size of the English dictionary would be insane to rewrite. But then, if you don't have a list of words to translate, then how will you ever know when your language is fully functional? I generally divide them up into these groups. I go through each group and come up with as many words as I can under the category of that group. This list of groups is slightly based off of the Swadesh list, but if you're making this conlang just to translate a few sentences, you can just come up with words when you need them. Also, lots of words should just be two other words combined. For an example, in one of my conlangs, the word for walk is ao. Then, we can add the prefix ue, which would translate into something like in English, which would make the word ueao, which would mean something like wagon. And then after some sound changes, it becomes weo. This conlang also has an animate-inanimate gender distinction. We can make the animate version of this word be something like hiker or traveler. We can add the prefix a, which turns words into the thing it is done to ao, to make ao, which would mean something like path. There is no animate version of path, so these words will just not be used. For another example, the word for water is bod. The people who speak this language live high up in the mountains, where the only water is in deep ravines, so it would be very dangerous to get water. Now we can add the prefix ait to bod to make abod, which would mean drink. But over time, because the water was so dangerous to get, people got severely dehydrated, and drinking water started being thought of as healing. So the word abad started to mean to heal. And then if we add the prefix ue, we get something that can get water for people. And because something that could get water for you out of the dangerous ravines was such a crazy idea, it came to mean wonderful thing. And the animate version ended up meaning hero, because ubadu is so long to say and wonderful thing is such a vague meaning, those ended up being dropped, and ubad ended up meaning hero. And then if you add the prefix a, you get bad, which means useless thing. And then there are the animate versions, which mean idiot. But now, because the word for idiot and hero sound so much alike, people ended up using a new word for hero. You might have realized that they were left with no word for drink. When making your own conlangs, and word meaning shifts leaves you with something there's no word for, then you can just make a new word for it. In this example, the word drink isn't very important. People could just say eat water. But to make it easier, they add the prefix id again to abad to mean drink. I hope you liked the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any feedback, please email me at katelity@outlook.com.